There I am. Hey, welcome to Thursday. It's Thursday night. Bobby Gray here, founder, fearless leader, TEXITcoin. I don't think I need to wear the headphones though. I feel like if I'm close enough and loud enough, you can hear me okay. Thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Hi, everybody. Matt can hear me okay. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate the heads up. Okay, I'm taking the headphones off. If you can't hear me, put your hand back up. Do I need them right there? No, I'll set them down over there. Okay, Thursday night, not Tuesday. Bobby Gray, thanks for joining me. I've got a great call for tonight. I'm very prepared, I'd say, which is a change, pleasant pleasant change. And let me mute my phone so it doesn't interrupt us. I'm glad you're all here tonight. Thank you so much. I got some great comments and feedback from our call on Tuesday, and that's funny because that was like my least prepared call of all time. But we went through some basics I think that were very important. We just had a chat about some things, and I want to talk about why I think the call went so well once we get through the original introduction. So thanks again for joining me. We got a couple more people jumping in, but we're going to get started with the boring stuff. Maybe it's not boring if this is your first time here, but I think I recognize all the names. But what I want to do tonight is I want to share with you the presentation that I did last Saturday, this past Saturday in Cedar Hill. And I presented it to Team Stanley and some friends down there, and I think it went very well. The presentation is officially about 17 minutes long. Somehow I was able to drag it out to an hour and 45 minutes, which was fun. Got to do a deep dive into a lot of these topics and concepts. Tonight, I want to see if we can run through it in about like 5 or 7 minutes. So I'm going to give you the super fast version. And then I want to tell you that this is the version that's getting turned into a welcome video. And that welcome video will be about 16 minutes long. It's pretty much done. I'm just reviewing it now. I've got to give the video editor some feedback and then we can finalize it. But I want to go through it with you tonight in hyperspeed. And then I want to talk about those basics, or I'm sorry, I want to talk about why I think Tuesday's call was so successful. Okay, so here we go. TEXITcoin, crypto, and the future of money. I'm Bobby Gray, founder and fearless leader. There's some fine print that we've got to go over as we get started here. First of all, I'm not a financial advisor. In fact, nothing that we talk about is financial advice. I have no degrees. I have no certifications. In fact, I'm a high school dropout. I'm just a guy that's on a mission to save the world. Lofty goal. Crypto is not an investment. Think of crypto more like gambling. It's incredibly risky. It could double or it could drop in half, maybe on the same day. In fact, this last week is a great example. How does something that's worth $1.5 trillion drop 30% in the course of a day or two? Wild. So I want you to think about crypto a lot like gambling. And I want you to not ever put into this or anything else, anything more than you are absolutely comfortable and prepared to completely lose. That's not because we want to lose it. That's not because we expect that to happen. But I want you to have that mindset as you go into the cryptocurrency adventure. Okay, start there. Finally, everyone's going to buy something here today. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But I wonder how many people got rich off crypto. Crypto's been around for a very long time at this point, 16 years now. And I want to take a brief look at the crypto journey. The first commercial transaction with Bitcoin was May 22nd, 2010. We call it Pizza Day. It's the day that two large pizzas, I think with pepperoni, were traded for 10,000 Bitcoin. It put the first official transactional value on Bitcoin long before it was ever traded on any exchanges at zero point 0.2 cents per coin. That was 14 plus years ago. So you've had lots of time to learn about it. People always have that story for me. If I only had jumped into Bitcoin when it was blank. So that's where it started, May 22nd. By the end of 2017, Bitcoin hit its first all-time high of about $20,000 a coin. I remember exactly where I was that day watching Bitcoin go all the way up and just briefly tap on $20,000 for a moment. And so after that, it tumbled on down to about $3,000 a coin in 2018. It was our first what we call crypto winter. And so you had plenty of time in 2018 to pick up Bitcoin at 3,000 bucks. A lot of people in 2018 thought Bitcoin was dead. And boy, those people could not have been more wrong. Where we are now, well, it's dropped a couple bucks in the last few days, but now we got a $1.3 trillion market cap just for Bitcoin itself. The whole industry is another trillion plus dollars. 55, 60, 65,000. I think we even hit a high above 70,000 recently. So people have been getting in and getting rich off this thing, not you. You didn't just miss Bitcoin. You missed a bunch of other coins. You missed Litecoin, Doge, Ripple, Monero, Ethereum, Cardano, Binance, and even Shiba. A little late to the party there. You missed them all. In fact, if you had put $100 into each one of those coins when they first came out, not on day one at the tech meeting of the developers, but like when the coin actually made it onto an exchange, if you put $100 into each one, you'd have about $5,000 of Litecoin today, about $55,000 of Doge, which is funny because that started out as a joke coin and you couldn't even give Doge away back then. You'd have 10 grand in Ripple, $64,000 in Monero. Monero is an interesting one because Monero is what we call a privacy coin, where you actually can't see wallet balances or transaction history. Very different. Ethereum, 38,000 bucks. Cardano, 1,700. Not quite as amazing as the others, but still, you're up, way up. Binance Coin, $6,600. Well, I didn't know about all those. Well, you heard about Shiba. You could have gotten in on Shiba early. You'd have $34,000 today if you got in early on Shiba Coin. Add them up. If you put 800 bucks into these coins, you'd have about $214,000 today. Not a bad little run, but you missed them. You missed them. Makes me wonder which one of these is going to be next. It's a trick question. You missed it. You missed all those, but there are thousands more. In fact, if you go to coinmarketcap.com, you can see right now a list of hundreds and hundreds of coins that someone is driving around in a Lamborghini because of. I mean, like you haven't even heard of these coins and they're worth hundreds of millions or billions of dollars. You missed it. Well, don't feel too bad because I missed it too, right? And this is funny because I made the original Bitcoin coin in 2012. I've minted millions of coins over the years, Indian coins, Libertarian Party coins, all kinds of coins over the years. This one's funny. If you're a gold and silver collector, you've probably even seen some of my stuff for sale on JM Bullion and AppMex, right? I missed it too. I even testified about this stuff back in 2012 in US Congress. I was invited to speak about parallel currencies, the roadmap to monetary freedom, where I gave the libertarian message there at that event, and it was great, but I missed it. Bitcoin was about $5 a coin back when it first came out, and I bought zero. And if I bought $100 worth, it'd be worth like $1.2 million today. Oh well, we missed it. But we also missed this one too, which is a little bit of a different story. I want to take a quick detour and talk about this guy. Anyone know his name? He goes by Roaring Kitty online, right? He was part of a group on a forum called Wall Street Bets. And these guys came up with an idea to short squeeze a stock, GameStop, one of the worthless stocks on the whole entire market, a stock that's more heavily shorted than any other stock that's out there, right? So these guys decided that if they get together and they all buy this stock and they drive this price up, the guys that are shorting it have to also go to the market to buy that same stock to cover their short positions. And if enough people got behind it and pushed the price far enough up, it would basically become a runaway train. And sure enough, there's a movie about it on Netflix if you want to see exactly what happened, or some sort of representation about what happened. But they took GameStop, a worthless company. Think of it like Blockbuster Video or like West Coast Video. I mean, a dinosaur, a company that's in strip malls trying to sell physical video games in the day of the digital download. These guys took that stock from $1 to over $500 per share. It's nuts. seems absolutely crazy. And if I tried to convince you to jump in on a play like this, you'd never go for it. You'd think that it was absolutely crazy. But let's take a closer look, because these guys were kind of onto something. GameStop was a highly leveraged stock. It had all kinds of short positions. And if the short squeeze worked and they drove the price up, then the banks and the hedge funds that were betting against GameStop would lose. It's not so different with crypto. Peer-to-peer internet money. Crypto's fast, borderless. There's no central authority. You don't have to go through a bank or a government to participate. Anybody that's anywhere on earth that has something to contribute to the market can jump in and join the cryptocurrency economy. We were just laughing the other day about how a PayPal account, once again, all these years later, got frozen. It's like, man, haven't we learned our lesson? We can't trust these guys. So there's a limited supply. It's impossible to hack. It's impossible to counterfeit. It's fast. It's borderless. It's intangible. You can carry any amount of it in your hand. So what's the similarity between these two? The similarity between these two is that they're both completely hard to believe at first sight, but they had a plan. And you may not understand the plan, but some people did. They got in early and they got rich. The plan might be wildly far-fetched and impossible to believe, but some people took a leap of faith. They calculated the risks, they went for it, and they got rich. Well, here's the best news of all. Crypto is the future of money. I am totally convinced in the year 2024 that the future of money is digital. If I want you to believe any one thing here today, I want you to believe that the future of money is digital. If you look at the evolution of money over time, we went from shells and clams to paper, or to gold and silver, to tally sticks, to paper, to all kinds of different things. And we've seen money kind of change and evolve over the years as the world becomes more advanced, as the globe gets smaller and easier to do business on an international scale, and as the world becomes more digital. And so the one thing that I'm absolutely sure of, I can look you in the eye and tell you that I'm sure of here today, is that the future of money is not going to be paper. It's unlikely to be gold and silver as well. It may be a basket of things, but part of that basket is going to be digital, right? And so I know in my heart of hearts that the future of money is not paper. Why? Because banks love digital currency. You ever hear of the CBDC, the central bank digital currency? That's the one that Trump has promised to kill. That's the federal future of money if we, the people, don't step up and stop it. Crypto is the future of the money. If you believe that, then you can engage it right now and maybe make a profit, or you can dig your heels in and get dragged into it later, kicking and screaming. But here's the best news of all. The choice is yours, right? The best news of all is that it's not too late. You missed Bitcoin. So what? You see, Bitcoin started out as this decentralized, beautiful peer-to-peer investment money of the internet. But the crypto kids, the guys that got rich off this stuff, they made a terrible mistake. They let the profit and the money and all that stuff go to their head. And what they did was they allowed crypto to become incredibly centralized and consolidated and controlled by the same banks that this thing started working against in the first place. Peer to peer, nice try. Most people use something like Coinbase today to transact with Bitcoin. Money system, no way. 99% of all Bitcoin that's traded now is exchanged online as a tool for people to gamble. It's used as a trade thing, not to buy a cup of coffee. Decentralized? Nope. A handful of companies now control almost the entire crypto ecosystem. Megacorps, banks, foreign nations. I don't have anything against China. I lived in Asia for 7 years, but I sure don't want them in control of my money. But here's the good news. All these problems, they create the perfect opportunity for us right now to do the right thing. What is that? It's called TEXITcoin. And my slide's a little slow, but it'll get there. TEXITcoin. We got some boring basics for you. It's faster than Bitcoin. It's mineable. It'll last for 137 years. There's no pre-mine, which means we didn't make it out of thin air. It's a real layer 1 blockchain. But here's the important stuff. It's brand new. It's as ground floor as it gets. Like I said, no pre-mine, which means we didn't cook them up out of thin air. Second, it's better tech than Bitcoin. In fact, we made a clone of Litecoin, and Litecoin is something that was developed a couple of years after Bitcoin as a faster alternative. We make a block every 3 minutes. Bitcoin makes one every 10 minutes. So we're automatically more than 3 times faster than Bitcoin. It's now and forever decentralized. And the best part of all, it's exclusively mined right here in Texas. But here's the best part. TEXITcoin today is incredibly cheap. In fact, you can probably get about 1,000 TEXITcoin right now for like, I don't know, 120 bucks. Pay attention. Here's the fun part. If we achieve our first goal, TEXITcoin reaches the coin market cap top 100. This is the list of respectable coins around the world. If we get on the top 100 list and we have about a $1 billion value, then the TEXITcoin that you picked up for 100 bucks is worth about $16,000. We're not stopping there. That's a very important thing to note. Just because I feel comfortable enough with our project now to make a projection of $16 TEXITcoin doesn't mean we're stopping there. In fact, if we get all the way up to the top 20, that 100 bucks of TEXITcoin is worth about $80,000. And if we make it onto the top 10, we're worth about $240,000 on a little $120 acquisition today, right? Okay. So top 5. TEXITcoin is still worth a cool $1 million you pick up today, right? It's pretty good upside. Not guaranteed. We'll come back to that in just a second. But here's the funny part. Even if we go all the way up to number 5, Bitcoin is still 20 times larger than we are, with more than a trillion, point 4, maybe 0.3 today, $1.3 trillion of value. But just pretend for a moment that we take the top spot. That $100 of TEXITcoin you pick up today is worth more than $20 million. Game over money. Can I guarantee it? Absolutely not. Guarantee is a word that amateurs use, but here's what I can tell you. Number 1, if we build our 100 million mega hash mine, which is our goal, our coin value will reach the top 100 and have about $1 billion value. I'm very sure that there's a correlation between the size of the mine we build and us being respected on the global crypto landscape with $1 billion plus value on that top 100 list. And number 2, I know that if we connect with 1 million people, that we'll be able to build our 100 million mega hash mine. And I'm extremely confident that we'll find the 1 million people we need. I'm watching it happen right now, and it's happening extremely quickly. But here's what matters. The reason I'm so confident we'll accomplish that is because we have a plan. Step 1, we build the mine. Right here in Texas, we'll build the world's largest decentralized mine. It'll take a little while for us to get there. I'm thinking about 18 months, 35 sites, 35 megawatts of power. The world will have no choice but to see who we are and what we're doing here in Texas. Number 2, we will barter and trade with merchants and small business owners. This is what I'm really good at. This is what I built the open currency standard on. Bartering, right? Going around to businesses and asking them to participate in our little barter system. It took some time. I think we'll do it 1,000 times more quickly with cryptocurrency than I was able to do with gold and silver. But this is what I'm good at. This is the part that I'm really looking forward to. Trading with merchants and businesses. And then number 3 is we'll manufacture TEXITcoin here in Texas and we'll export it all over the world. Our target export market is Asia. 60% of crypto speculative trading is in 3 countries, Japan, Korea, and China. Eddie and I get on a plane August 31st to get started in Korea. Korea Blockchain Week will be ambassadors of TEXITcoin over there, bringing them the message of freedom and sound money in their hometown, in their backyard. We're looking forward to that. Then we go to Thailand for private meetings, and then we're on to Singapore for Singapore Blockchain Week, which is where the real money hangs out. That's the plan. And it all begins today, right here and right now with you. If you think I'm serious, if you take me seriously, if you think that I'm working every day towards this reality, if you believe that I have a realistic vision, mission, and strategy, if you believe that digital currency is the future of money, and most important of all, if you believe that you deserve to win along with us, pick up a handful of TEXITcoin here today. You can do it on the Blockchain Mint website. You can go directly to the open market at dex-trade.com. Pick up a handful. I don't think you'll regret it. In fact, I'm betting the farm on the fact that you won't regret it. Or if you really want to join us, hold on, clicker's not working. Join the mining club. It's a great way for us to build this thing and get on the map. It's $995 to join. It pays out TEXITcoin daily. And there's a rewards program attached to it where you can earn a little side income or even double the TEXITcoin that you receive from the mine. 1, 2 free, we call it. We've got 2 different programs. The first is 1, 2 free. It means that you refer 3 people in and we will give you an additional share at no cost. Or there's a program where you can also build out teams, get points. Every 3 points you get on your left and you match those with 3 points on your right, we'll pay you $1,000 commission. Why? Because we need this thing to grow. We need to crowdsource this mine. We could have some bank finance it, but that means there's no one out there talking about TEXITcoin. And for us to be successful, we need people out there talking about TEXITcoin. Let's take a quick look at the mining club numbers, right? If you join today, you'll stockpile, if you hold on to them, you'll stockpile about 10,000 TEXITcoin over the next 18 months. 18 months is our price horizon that we're estimating about $16 per TEXITcoin. And so if you get started today and you save all the TEXITcoin that are acquired over the next 18 months, you'll have about $160,000 worth of TEXITcoin. Again, is it guaranteed? It's not. But I feel extremely confident about the dots that we have and our ability to connect those dots together, get onto the top 100 with a real coin, with a real mine. Why am I so sure? It's very simple. We've got the technology. We've got the playbook. We've got the team that's experienced, that's ready to take this thing all the way to the moon and beyond. But most important of all, we've got a great mission. Let's take a quick look at some other winning missions out there in the marketplace. That top 100 list, I don't know what number it is, but there's $1.3 billion of Floki coin floating around out there. How about Bonk? Has anyone gotten in on the Bonk craze? $1.5 billion of Bonk, $1.6 billion of Dog with Hat. This is my personal favorite, by the way. Dog with Hat, Dog with, WIF, Dog with Hat is worth $1.6 billion. $3.5 billion for this winner. $10 billion of Shiba is out there. Now, Shiba is funny because it's a joke of a joke coin, the biggest joke coin of all, Doge. Or how about my mission? Texit, the immediate secession of Texas from the failing and crumbling USA. Or, said another way, saving what's left of freedom and Americanism by exiting the corrupt and the crumbling U.S. empire. Friends, I don't know if you believe it or you see it like I do, but the world is in flux. Every empire in the history of mankind has eventually come to an end. The Dutch in the 1700s, the British in the 1800s. We're living through right now the age of the American empire. And we don't know what's going to happen next, but I can tell you this. The more that you have, the better you can plan for the future, the more that you can take care of your family and your community. And if you bury your head in the sand and pretend like this stuff doesn't exist, it's going to affect you. Or you can prepare now and maybe even come out way ahead with TEXITcoin. What do we stand for? Couple things, 3 things. 1, community. We had a great party here last 4th of July. And just traditional American stuff, music, live music, water slides, barbecue. You know, we're like doing this new thing with a bunch of people that have no business being involved in technology and cryptocurrency. You know, it's a bunch of guys that just say, hey, man, I like these values. I think this is a good project. Let's get in. Let's get behind it. We're building a new community and we're having a lot of fun too. Join us in Asia. We're getting on a plane. We're going out there dressed up in cowboy hats, cowboy boots to be ambassadors of Americanism and freedom. I'll tell you a couple things that I know firsthand about Asia. Number 1, they love to gamble over there. Number 2, they love America. They love freedom. They can name two U.S. states usually. California, and Texas. And when we told people we're from Texas, they go, ooh, cowboys. They know our state. They love Western culture. And we are planning on going there and bringing them our values so that they know who we are and asking them to trade with us. Trade with all, alliances with none. The third thing and most important thing to me is money, profit. You see, I believe that money is the root of all good. Why? Because when you earn money, when you work for it, you tend to value it. And how is it possible that the things that you value can be evil? I want you to be rich. I want you to enjoy life as much as I do. Get rich with me. Get started today. Save Americanism right now with honest money. Join today. Remember this. Freedom is never more than a generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for and protected and handed on to them to do the same. Or one day we'll spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was like in the United States when men were free. Thank you very much for joining me on this presentation. I don't know how quickly I got through it, but this is what I presented a couple days ago with my friends down in Cedar Hill, and it's quickly turning itself into a promotional video that tells the TEXITcoin story, gives you an opportunity to share that with people that want to learn more. So I want to talk now a little bit about why we are successful. And I think that this speech is really going to be called Why TEXITcoin Worked. And I'm going to deliver this speech like, I don't know, March 2nd, 2025 on Texas Independence Day. Hopefully from like, you know, I don't know, some yacht somewhere or something, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll be right here in this chair. Maybe it'll be down in Austin from in front of the Texas Capitol building, state capitol. But the speech is going to be about why TEXITcoin was successful. Today, I want you to think about it as in why TEXITcoin is successful so far. And there's one word. There's one word for it. And I have put together a couple of things to show you what I mean. We had a great call on Tuesday night, and everyone said, I love the honesty. I love how straightforward you are. I love that you're just giving us this simple information. It seems like you're telling us the truth. It seems like you're, just as transparent as you can possibly get with what we're doing. And that's all true. I am transparent with these things. And I've done a lot of research on similar things that failed in the past, learning from these mistakes. I keep talking about the playbook. I'm studying this stuff day in and day out to figure out what they did right and what we absolutely have to avoid that they did wrong. And one of the most prevalent things, one of the things I'm seeing time and time and time again is transparency. You got to be upfront with people. You got to tell them the truth. It's pretty easy to spot the truth from BS. And we want to publish as much information as we can so that you can evaluate the data for yourself and come to your own conclusions. But the word that describes all this stuff is authentic. And I remember watching the first season of Yellowstone. I don't really enjoy much of the rest of them, but the first season I thought was great. And there's a line in there where this guy, I think his name's Dan, says to the main character, whatever his name is. I don't know what's his name. Jeez, I can't believe I forgot. It's been so long. Anyway, he says, you know why people like you so much? Authenticity. You can't buy authenticity. And what a great line that is. And that's exactly what we are. That's exactly what TEXITcoin is. It's authentic. And I want to take a quick look at the definition of authentic piece by piece and show you exactly what I mean. Again, this is the data that I want to share with you so that you can come to your own logical conclusion that you're involved with a project that's authentic. It's not false or imitation, number one. It's real. It's actual. There's a website out there called Solana Token Creator. You can go to this website right now. You can do the same thing with Ethereum. You can type in a couple numbers here, and with a few clicks of a button, you can create a meme coin. That's all it takes. You don't need a block explorer. You don't need mines. You don't need a garage. You don't need big power. You don't need insulation. You don't need technical experience. All you need is a couple buttons. You click and voila, you've created yourself something the likes of, I don't know, let's see. like Shiba. Shiba. You go down the list, Shiba is number 13. There are 589 trillion Shibas in existence right now. Nobody had to work for those coins. Somebody clicked, and made 589 trillion. Do I have that right? Million, billion, trillion. 589 trillion. And the people that are investing in this are just hoping. They've got their fingers crossed that whoever's holding on to those doesn't dump them on the market and drive the price down and cash out. Our project is real. Our project is actual. We have a real mind. We have a real team. We have a real mission. We have a real plan. 2, it's true to one's own personality, spirit, and character. I want to tell you a quick story about the meeting at Jekyll Island. Hopefully you know this story, but I did a Google search just to start pulling up some screenshots and stuff. And I thought it was really funny how right here on the Federal Reserve website, Federal Reserve history, a secret gathering in a secluded island off the coast of Georgia in 1910 laid the foundations for the Federal Reserve System. This is our nation's bank. It's the third one that we had. We were able to kill the first one. We were able to kill the second one. And we've got the third one. It had a 100-year charter, and that's been extended forever. But it was cooked up by a group of the world's most powerful men who took a secret overnight train ride from New York down to Jekyll Island, Georgia. You can read all about who those guys were and how they got there in secrecy. Anyway, about the 100-year anniversary of this meeting of the minds, I got together. I was invited by a guy named G. Edward Griffin. This is a picture of him right here. And he wrote a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island. And it's an in-depth evaluation and history of the founding of the Federal Reserve System. And he'll give you a great speech that says, be careful what you wish for. All these American farmers in like the early 20th century were yelling and screaming about interest rates from banks. They went to the government. They demanded that the government do something to fix these out of control bankers. Well, what happened? The government cooked up the Federal Reserve System. Be careful what you wish for. And I was invited to participate in 2009 to take an overnight train ride from New York down to Jekyll Island, Georgia, and retrace the footsteps of these guys that did it almost 100 years ago. So here's my picture archive. When I got to Jekyll Island and I got off our tour bus that brought us there from the train station, I saw this beautiful building and I looked at it and I said, you know what? I am going to get liquored up and climb to the top of this building and I'm going to steal their flag. And I did exactly that. I went up there, I grabbed the flag off the top of the building. I don't know if you can see it real well, but I replaced it with a Gadsden Don't Tread on Me flag the first night that I got there. And on the 100-year anniversary of the founding of the writing of the Federal Reserve, the thing that eventually became the Federal Reserve Act, the Don't Tread on Me flag was flown above the private JP Morgan club at Jekyll Island, Georgia. We ended up negotiating with the club owners to swap it back. There's yours truly right there. The guy that put the conference together, the girl that got liquored up with me to get the flag, and the security guard that was not paying attention to catch us. But there's our friend G. Edward Griffin right there in the middle. And we presented him with this flag. We all signed it. And this was 2009. Why do I mention it to you? Because if you go back and you watch any of the stuff that I've done, the speeches that I've given over the years, the things that I've said, the articles that I've written, they're all the same. I've been a champion of honest money since I got started in this thing in 2008. This is my work. It's my life. It's my passion. And it's true to my personality, spirit, character. I want you to go back and look at the things that have been published that I said years and years ago. I've been on this mission for 16 years now. Worthy of acceptance or belief. Let's skip that one. Confirming to an original as to reproduce essential features. We talk about original. I created the original Bitcoin coin back in 2012. How can I prove it? Well, I went into my old recesses of my email archive from way back when. And I don't know if you can see this here. I have two different windows open because I'm trying to protect this guy's email address. But we were making coins for this guy named Mick, the Globe and Gear coin. And we shipped him his first order and they never made it to the UK. And it got lost. and he did a chargeback on the order. And we had some drama. So I reached out to him. Hi, my name's Rob Graham, the director of the American Open Currency Standard. I understand we've had a falling out. I'd like to see what I can do to get our relationship back on track. As you know, we've done well, blah, blah, blah. I think that we can have a satisfactory resolution. This is the way I talk. This is the way I try to deal with things like chargebacks and problems. You'll see it in everything that I do. This goes all the way back to 5 Jan 2012. The guy responds, thanks for getting in touch. Yes, I've had some success, blah, blah, blah. I hope you're able to fix the relationship, PayPal claim. I had spent hours on a design for a second copper round. The picture below was a work in progress, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Here's my response. Thanks for the writing back, blah, blah, blah. It's unfortunate. We'll get it resolved. Moving forward. Hold on. Where is it here? If you find my offer acceptable, please let me know. We'll get started with this new copper project. David voices concerns. I'm not worried about it. The Bitcoin market is decentralized, and I don't think there's particular licensing authority. The icon is different enough. This is the genesis on 6 January 2012 that resulted in the creation of us bringing to market a few months later the original Bitcoin coin. That's what it looks like. This one's going on eBay for $75. It's the 2012 physical Bitcoin. Check out the back of it. There's AOCS approved. Yours truly, the American Open Currency Standard. Okay. I made it back in 2012. I don't think it's coincidental at all that I was working on honest money projects and manufacturing coins. And we made this thing all these years ago, 12 years ago. The other thing I did back in 2012 that you're welcome to look up in the halls of Congress was something that I wrote and presented in front of Ron Paul's Domestic Monetary Policy Subcommittee hearing. I mentioned it earlier. It was on August 2nd, 2012. And there is your invited guest. Witnesses, Mr. Gray, Robert J., Executive Director of the American Open Currency Standard. And if you go on the website, you can even find a little video.
Clearly represent,
there's truly
not to the legislature, but directly to the public, is what I call IR.
But authenticity. We've been doing this for an extremely long time. We've been saying the same thing, using similar words. The only difference today is that we've gotten off the gold and silver horse and buggy, and we're on the crypto rocket ship. 12 years since 2012. It's a long time to be doing these things. But that's the power of authenticity. Authoritative. We're able to speak to our community. We're able to speak to prospects, to potential friends that want to participate with us from a position of power and authority. Why? Because we've been doing it for years. You know, for a very long time, people used to say, wow, you created Bitcoin? Well, I created the original Bitcoin coin. But what's really funny is that Bitcoin's never really had a leader. You know, it's had a great community, but no one really there at the top to guide it. TEXITcoin is our second chance. It's our Bitcoin redo. It's everything that we love about crypto now, with leadership, with a real mission, with people that have been doing this for more than a dozen years, 16 years on the honest money mission. That's our mission. Our mission is to build the mine. Our mission is to get TEXITcoin established as a reputable, respectable, usable currency here in Texas, and then let it spread far and wide. I want to thank you for joining me, sharing this time on Thursday night. I know that you've probably got some fun and exciting things to do. I'm glad you shared your time. I'm Bobby Gray. I'm the founder. I'm the fearless leader of TEXITcoin, and I will catch you again on Tuesday for our miners update. Thanks again. Have a great night.